So to be clear, I'm going to spend 19% of this video shitting on this game because it deserves it. And in the end, I'm going to explain what's good about it. Alright, you got it, Starfield. I highly recommend that you watch our Starfield preview video first, because there I described very well why I waited so long for this game and under which conditions it was made. But in a nutshell, back in the days of PS3 and Xbox 360, Sony and Microsoft were on the same level. And then Sony got a little higher because they worked hard, and Microsoft got a little lower because they hired an idiot director who wanted to make everything but games for the Xbox. And since then, Sony has been pissing and Microsoft face. Why not? They're higher and Microsoft can do anything about it, even though they're trying. At least the skin is not dry. And finally, Starfield appears on the horizon. Microsoft gives 1000 kilograms of money for its development, with the plan to release Starfield only on the Xbox and the PC. They're not complete idiots. And since this project has to elevate the Xbox to at least the level of the PlayStation, it has to be more than just flawless and successful. It has to be brilliant, and it has to be something that makes you want to throw your PS5 in the trash and say, only Xbox now. In short, this game has to be so good that it could compare with Zelda for the Game of the Year. And Microsoft and Bethesda understood it and did everything they could to make sure it was. And so Starfield come up, and I pick up a gamepad to play it, and I was like, why do I feel a taste of Todd Howard's dick? 7 hours. 7 hours I spent in the game. That's quite a lot, you know? 7 hours is a third of a normal linear game, and in some cases even half. And I forced myself to play those 7 hours. All 7 hours I played, I thought, well, now it will be interesting. But it didn't get interesting. Here's the beginning of the game. We show up in the elevator of some mine. Who we are, what is the world, what is the planet, what are the rules of the world. We understand nothing and nobody tell us anything. Well, okay, apparently the game hints will explain later what kind of world it is. Spoiler! No! We went down into the mine, got 4 stones, went further, found some artifacts, something shined on us. We didn't understand anything. We wake up and we are told, no time to explain, create a character! And character creation is good. Really good. About character creation, it's easy. We create the appearance, choose the backstory, and optionally choose 3 traits that give pros and cons. Then some guy flies in and says, you found some artifact? But there are pirates after me. Go kill them. We killed the pirates and he's like, so the artifact has to be taken to the capital to a super cool space exploration organization. I have a ship and I can't do that. Well, you're just a regular miner, so stay on the planet. And that makes sense. Oh wait, but then there wouldn't be a game. No, he said. So here's the deal. Take my ship, which in a world where space travel is a commonplace, apparently costs like a hot dog. Take a super important artifact for my organization and fly to our headquarters. I can see that you won't cheat, steal the ship or sell the artifact for a lot of money at the nearest pawn shop. And I will work in the mine instead of you, because I spent half of my life in the space exploration organization to mine ore. It's so great plan. And we are going to the capital on somebody else's ship. And I'm like, okay, it's crazy, but from here on it became very logical and interesting, yes? That's the hope of Microsoft. We are coming to New Atlantis, the capital, the most important city in the galaxy, and I decide to explore it. I've expected that it's like Night City from Cyberpunk, only smaller, but just as cool and detailed. And first of all, I was surprised that there's no transportation. Yeah, there is subway for fast travel, but no cars, no helicopters, and I don't know, horses? Whatever. And at first I was surprised by that. There are future, technology everywhere. And then I walked around the city and realized, I've got it! You don't need cars if your city was the size of my brain. Like this. It's just kind of unreal. It's small. There is a spaceport, there is a city, and there is a park. And you can walk through them in about 30 seconds each. How is that possible? It's the galactic capital. It blows my mind. I don't believe in this world. Developers, I realize that you may have run out of time or decided to spend the money you were given on other aspects of the game. But why it's so bad? The spaceport is designed for one ship. Only you and no one else will land there. There are only 10 high-rises in the city, each with a bar or shop at the bottom and apartments at the top. There are few people on the streets and nothing to do. Well, in the park there are trees and the headquarters of the organization you're taking the artifact to. Look. If you knew that you can't build a normal big capital, do like in Mass Effect. There was also a huge capital, but to avoid creating it, the creators just made a few districts from which you can only move by subway. And around it we saw a huge city, but we couldn't get there. And yes, there you really thought it was the capital. And here is nothing, just a few buildings. So you don't believe in this world. Also, the game doesn't teach you anything. For example, I know that you can build a ship out of different modules and so on. But I never realized where and how to do it. Where are the shops for the clothes and weapons? Where to buy repair kits for the ship and where to buy first aid kits? Alright, let's go further. We enter the building of a secret organization that's doing everything it can to unravel the mysteries of the galaxy. Hiring the best minds, people who are on fire with the idea, who are willing to risk their lives for it. And they tell you, okay, we need to find more pieces of this artifact. Collecting them all is the goal of our lives. Oh, weird dude, you've got our ship, so keep it. Take this chick, by the way, she's in charge in our organization. Do what you want with her, fly wherever you want, but if you have time, please fly quickly for a new artifact because we are too lazy. And that's it. Fly and do whatever you want, because you've been entrusted with the future of the entire organization and given its leader as your assistant. What's wrong with this game? Who wrote this shit? You could say you're so smart, so try to create another beginning of the game. Easy! That's my version of the beginning. You see a video about how mankind moved from Earth into space and started conquering planets, what conflict there were, what resources are the most important, and how technology has reached the point where ships can fly from galaxy to galaxy. The clip lasts less than a minute and can be skipped if you create the character again. Then the camera moves away and it turns out that you're a student, you have finished school and this is a farewell video from your school. You're in the crowd of your classmates. You're wished good luck in your future life, everyone is happy, black screen. Next we show up in the mine. Find an artifact and guy arrives in the ship. He gets shot. He asks you to fly the ship since he got shot in the arm. Plus his colleagues want to hear what you saw when you touched the artifact. On the way he explains how to fly the ship. You fly to a city where we are taken to the area we need to go to. So the developers don't need to build the whole town. There we get into the organization. They're all grateful that you saved the guy and didn't steal the ship. In gratitude, they tell you that they will take you in as a newcomer, and in return they will treat you, for example, from the disease that the hero dies from, and the treatment for which the hero saved up by working in the mine. And the treatment offers leave you no choice. You agree, and as a test task, here is your partner. Listen to him and go for another artifact. While you go to the ship, you're told that here is the shop. Here you can buy some shit and weapons. And by the way, the ship mechanic, the last Captain Idiot, crashed into a tree while parking on Pluto. You take the money to change the model for a new one, and you change it, and you know where and how to do it. Then you go on a mission, you do it, you come back, and you're a part of the organization. What's so hard about it? I figured it out in 5 minutes while sitting on the toilet. All the tutorials are passed and everything is logical. If you have such a problem with the game design, Hire me! I'll solve everything for you! Cause what you've done is totally stupid. And it's stupid in everything. Like space travel, for example. If you want to go somewhere, you get into a spaceship and take off. Once in space, you immediately go into the menu and choose which system and which planet you want to go to. Once you're near the planet, you immediately go back to the menu and choose to land on the planet. Please, tell me why. Why do I need to go to the menu multiple times and select everything just to land? If space travels is so hard to create, do it like in Mass Effect. Let me choose where I want to go within the ship. And that's it. Otherwise, I don't understand why we are in space. To do what? To fly and dock with some base or to shoot, for example. Shooting in space in this game is boring. And docking is just pushing a button. In short, it doesn't make sense to fly in space. God, we can't even land on a planet. If you fly very far towards the planet, you'll just hit an invisible wall. What you developers should have done is just land the ship at a random point on the planet, and that's time. Not only that, but a streamer girl were near one planet and flying to another. She left her computer on all day. When she came back, she saw that she had flown to the planet she wanted. And there was nothing in there. Nothing at all! Why make a spaceflight so stupid? Developers did a much better job in No Man's Sky a few years ago. Yes, of course, there will be various quests in the game where you have to destroy spaceships or where you have to fly between the meteorites in the tricky way. But it is so rare that ships do not make much sense here. What was the problem to make traveling through space as in the Mass Effect? With the help of the map. And when there are encounters or other activities, to turn on the pilot mode because it was already Knights of the Old Republic. Yes, there was a turret mode, not the pilot, but it doesn't matter. But let's continue. Here you can pick up almost every item. The crafting system came from Fallout 4, so we take all this crap, break it down into parts and use them to upgrade equipment. And since I like the system in Fallout, I like it here. The only difference that in Fallout I understood what I was taking, and in Starfield because of the horrible color filter. The font and the font color I usually do not even understand what I'm taking because I do not want to take a long look and read the name of the object. And in Fallout it was immediately clear what you were grabbing. I came, I saw, I picked it up. That's it. But in Starfield, nothing is clear. What else? You can collect food and cook different dishes that give buffs. Food heals, dish heals and give buffs. Some dishes and drinks give buffs and debuffs. In short, everything is usual in Bethesda games. The shooting has gotten worse compared to Fallout, and I don't know how you could make it worse than your last game. Although I have to admit, it's not bad. The inventory is clumsy and ugly. The music is not memorable, even the main theme. Although the main theme from Fallout and Elder Scrolls are recognized in every performance and remix. Damn it, I just do not remember it! And the whole tune is just a weird clone of the music from Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Graphics. Well, the graphics here are not so bad as everybody says, but the color filter is nightmare. It's so bad that on the first day on the PC there was a mod to remove the stupid dark filter. The planets are empty, when you land on a planet you have to walk for a long time to get to your destination, and since you cannot choose where to land and there is no transportation, the game gives you no chance, and you walk and walk and walk. Will there be anything in this game you like? Yes! Yes, it will be. And the first one is the lighting. You know, I don't like ray tracing. It puts a lot of pressure on the video card and it doesn't give a very good effect. So I like it when developers take good lighting based on normal technologies. And thanks to that, the landscapes in Starfield are amazing. If you want, you can make a lot of great screenshots on planets with a rarefied atmosphere. But the problem is that the lighting is not enough to make this game interesting. I played 7 hours and I'm not sure that I'll continue. Because it's one of the most boring games I ever played. But there is a man on our editorial staff who has already played 20 hours of Starfield, and he says that despite all these problems, Starfield is actually a masterpiece. It just reveals itself after 15-20 hours of play. It's only then that you begin to realize its charms. And this fellow said, "These are the best quests Bethesda has ever made." While everyone complains about the beginning of the game, I was shocked by the diversity and interconnectedness of all the factions, lore and events. It gives the integrity of the world and its interconnectedness. There are Xenomorphs, Space Pirate that you infiltrate undercover, Space Cowboys and others, but it takes a while to get to that point. So maybe this game really is masterpiece. But the problem is that we all expected something great, something more than a masterpiece. And what we got was a terrible start, and I don't want to spend 15 hours on a terrible game now, only to enjoy something good later. So should you buy this game? Probably not. It's not worth the money. And it's certainly not worth the buying Xbox or new computer to play in it. If you have a Game Pass, give it a try. And don't expect anything. Nothing at all. And maybe you'll love it. Well, I'm going to cry. Crying at the realization that we could have had the great game. A game that could once rival the Xbox and PlayStation. But we've got what we've got.